Hey everybody, Dr. Phil here. This is going to be a video on learning, memory, and product positioning in the realm of consumer behavior. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's first talk about memory's role in learning. So we know that memory consists of really two interrelated components: STM, short-term memory, and of course LTM, long-term memory. Um, So think of short-term memory as like the working memory. It's that portion of the total memory that is currently activated or in use. So think about like what am I thinking about right now? I have to go to work. I've got to go to the grocery store, right? I've got to fill up with gas. Right? What have I got? Got to get done in the here and now? And we can kind of compare that to longer-term memory, LTM, which is the portion of total memory devoted to permanent information storage. So think about, like the times tables, right? The alphabet, things that you are just sort of now embedded in your brain. And we kind of break LTM, long-term memory, down into two different components. Semantic memory, which is the basic knowledge and feelings an individual has about a concept, and episodic memory. And this is the memory of a sequence of events in which a person participated. So short-term memory, as the name indicates, is of course short-lived. Consumers must constantly refresh information through maintenance rehearsal or it will be lost. And of course, STM has a limited capacity. Consumers can only hold so much information in current memory. Now, elaborative activities do tend to occur in STM. So elaborative activities serve to redefine or add new elements to memory and can involve both concepts and imagery. Classical conditioning, this is something out of the psychology literature. You may have heard of Pavlov's dog, the experiment with ringing the bell. That was classical conditioning. Is the process of using an established relationship between one stimulus, for example, music, and response, for example, pleasant feelings, to bring about the learning of the same response, pleasant feelings, to a different stimulus, in this case, the brand. And here we see below in this figure, consumer learning through classical conditioning, right? So the UCS is popular music, and then sort of the response is the sort of the stimulus is popular music, the response is positive emotion, um, and then we can see down here the conditioned stimulus, and then we have again positive emotion. So it's trying to kind of get people to a point where, if they in the broader scheme of things, if they hear something, if they do something, it evokes a certain feeling, perhaps a certain emotion. Operant conditioning, or instrumental learning, involves rewarding desirable behaviors, such as brand purchases, with a positive outcome that serves to reinforce the behavior. So if we look at our figure below, consumer learning by operant conditioning, we can see the stimulus. In this case, just imagine you're trying to sell baked rice and corn puffs. The desired response, of course, is consumption. The reinforcement is that the taste is pleasant, and this increases the probability of a response. And we could even go as far as to say a positive response rate to stimulus. Now, shaping can also be used in operant conditioning. So the process of shaping in purchase behavior is really these three stages that we see here in front of us. Stage one would be, in this example, to consume a free sample of Smart Puffs that was sent to your home. Stage two would be to purchase a second package using the discount coupon that accompanied the free sample. And stage three would be to repurchase the product at full price. Now, the most complex form of cognitive learning is what's called analytical reasoning. In reasoning, individuals engage in creative thinking to restructure and recombine existing information as well as new information to form new associations and concepts. The iRobot ad, we see on the right here, challenges implicit consumer beliefs about vacuuming. The vacuum itself cleans under and around furniture without the user's help. Now, with respect to learning, memory, and retrieval, marketers want consumers to learn and remember positive features, feelings, and behaviors associated with their brands. What happens when consumers forget? In the context of conditioned learning, we can call this extinction, the desired response decays or dies out if not reinforced. Right, so that's good for marketers to know because then we need to keep continually reinforcing this. Compare that to cognitive learning, which is more of a retrieval failure, in that information that is available in LTM, long-term memory, cannot be retrieved. Now, reinforcement is anything that increases the probability that a response will be repeated in the future. The positive reinforcement is a pleasant or desired consequence. This NyQuil ad, which we see on the right here in the picture, which promises the best sleep with a cold, utilizes positive reinforcement by suggesting a positive outcome if you use the brand. Excuse me. A negative reinforcement involves the removal or the avoidance of an unpleasant consequence. Also in the concept and context of learning, memory, and retrieval, memory interference occurs when consumers have difficulty retrieving a specific piece of information because other related information in memory gets in the way. A common form of interference in marketing is due to competitive advertising. Competitive advertising makes it harder for consumers to recall any given advertisement and its contents. So what can marketers do to decrease competitive interference? So this, of course, is not by any means, by any stretch, an exhaustive list. These are just some of the more common things that marketers may endeavor to attempt. So the first would be avoid competing advertising. The second would be to strengthen the initial learning such that it would become very hard to forget. The third is reduce similarity to competing ads because, again, if an ad is very similar, then people might then start thinking about a different ad, and maybe that's by one of your competitors. And then finally and fourth, provide external retrieval cues. So what about brand image and product positioning? So product positioning is a decision by a marketer to try to achieve a defined brand image relative to competition within a market segment. An important component of brand image is the appropriate usage situations for the product or brand. Perceptual mapping offers marketing managers a useful technique for measuring and developing a product's position. So examples would be the Dyson Airwrap Styler, which of course is powered by Dyson, it's the vacuum cleaner company, and the digital motor, the V9. Now, product repositioning refers to a deliberate decision to significantly alter the way the market views a product. This can involve the level of performance, the feelings it evokes. It could also involve the situations in which it should be used, or who uses the product. So what about brand equity and leverage, and brand leverage? So brand equity is the value consumers assign to a brand above and beyond the functional characteristics of the product. Brand leverage, often termed family branding, brand extensions, or sometimes also known as umbrella branding, refers to marketers capitalizing on brand equity by using an existing brand name for new products. And with regard to applications in consumer behavior, it's important for marketers to realize that the way in which they advertise a brand can enhance perceptions of fit and make a brand more extendable into a broader set. Brand extensions are most likely to succeed when the new product is closer to existing products, as with Ivory deodorant as an example, and we see that on the right in the top picture. However, the greatest rewards are sometimes associated with extensions into more distinct product categories, as with Oreda's breakfast bowls, also shown on the right in the bottom picture. Okay, thanks for watching this quick video, and I will see you all in a future video. Take care.